In which section are you? I can testify that 50 years ago I was in the second section, but today I am in the third section. 50 years ago I was one corrupted by the serpent, but now I am one called by Jehovah. The first two chapters are apparently a record of God's creation. Then in the following 48 chapters, we find biographies of 8 great persons: Adam, Abel, Enoch, and Noah, a group of 4; Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph, another group of 4. Each group belongs to a different race. The first 4 belong to the Adamic race, and the last 4 belong to the Abrahamic race. In the book of Genesis are 2 fathers: Adam, the father of the created race, and Abraham, the father of the called race. Do you belong to the created race or to the called race? All the called ones are the sons of Abraham. Galatians 3 tells us that whoever believes in Jesus Christ is a son of Abraham. Hallelujah! Once we were created, but now we are called. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 24 says that to the called ones, Christ is the power of God and the wisdom of God. We are no longer the created race, but are forever the called race, called to partake of and enjoy Christ. The central thought. With every book of the Bible, there is also a central thought. The central thought of Genesis is Christ is the hope and salvation of fallen men, and God will make fallen men to fulfill his purpose through Christ. Once we have a real and thorough understanding of the book of Genesis, we can see that it presents Christ as the hope and salvation of fallen men. Through Christ, God will enable fallen man to accomplish his purpose. Genesis is a book with Christ as the center, and Christ is life to the people whom he restored from the fall. Why does this book give us such a record of creation in the first 2 chapters? Why does it give us the biographies of 8 persons in the following 48 chapters? We need a deeper understanding. The first 2 chapters appear to be a record of creation, but this is superficial. The underlying thought is focused on life. These 2 chapters are a record of life. They are too simple and too brief to be an adequate account of creation. Genesis 1 and 2 were not intended by God to be a record of creation, but a revelation of life. Look into these chapters. First, it mentions that God created the universe, and that the universe was ruined, become waste, empty, and full of darkness. Then the Spirit of God came in to brood in order to produce life. Following the Spirit of life came the light, also for producing life. After this, the air was made to divide the waters of death. Then the land emerged out of the death waters. The land appeared for the purpose of generating life, and immediately every kind of plant life was produced. Then came the animal life in the water, the animal life in the air, and the animal life on the earth, and eventually the human life. Following the human life is the divine life, indicating by the tree of life. Thus, we can see that these 2 chapters, strictly speaking, are not a record of creation, but of life.